Yo, it's MartydudeVR, and guys, today we gotta talk about Metro Awakening for the PSVR2. This game is honestly, it might actually be a masterpiece. And now you guys know I don't give that title out loosely. Like there's some games I play, I'll be like, yeah, it's cool, but Metro Awakening is legitimately might be my VR game of the year. And it's definitely in my top 10 favorite VR games. So I have to let you guys know I played this on PSVR2, and for my people who are worried about performance, it's totally fine. You got nothing to worry about, runs beautifully. Go ahead and buy it if that's what you're here for. But before you leave, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure your notification bell on the video, because if you guys don't do that, you just leave. Come on, do it for me. But if you're here for the actual review, we got to talk about this story. So contrary to what I thought, Metro Awakening is actually a prequel game. So it takes place in 2028, so a few years before, Artyom's, adventure and stuff like that. And you follow a doctor named Serdar. So Serdar is probably one of the best MCs that I've experienced in a long time. And throughout the game, you follow Serdar's journey as he tries to find medicine for his wife, Yana. And what I did not know is that Serdar is actually a very important character in the Metro game series. So if you played all the Metro games and are playing this one, you might immediately notice who he is probably within the first hour of the game. Now me, I didn't finish Metro Exodus, but I did play Last Light. I played the first one, and man, I love the Metro games. So this type of story definitely hit home with me. And they did it. Oh my God, this story is amazing. I cried at the end of this game. It's like, if you don't cry at the end of this game, I'm convinced you're gonna have tear ducts. Especially as somebody who's recently become a father, this game's story just hits so many different levels with me. Now, this is a spoiler-free review, so I'm not gonna tell you guys who Serdar is. I want you guys to go see that yourself. Don't read any of the promo materials, just hop into the game and be surprised. But one way they made this story a legit 10 out of 10 is the voice acting. The voice acting in this is triple A as it can get. A lot of my problems with some VR games, they have really bad voice acting. Man, Vertigo Games spent every dollar they could on voice acting because this was amazing. There's parts of the game where Serdar goes through some real mental turmoil, and you really hear in his voice, there's jokey moments where he's talking to another character named Max, and like you really feel the emotion between the characters, him and Yana, when they have their scenes. Like it's just perfect. I'm not gonna lie, it's so great, and it really holds up against the rest of the Metro series in terms of voice acting. My favorite thing about Metro Awakening has to be the environment. The environment is perfect for the Metro series, and especially with the PSVR2. That OLED, the dark environments really pop out. And when they have like those radiated areas where there's a bunch of green and a lot of weird stuff going on, that OLED makes that green, that radiation really look cool on your screen. Like I literally have no issues with how they designed the game because it fits the Metro series perfectly. Like this is a 10 out of 10 game. And what I like about this Metro game in particular is they really dive deep into kind of like the mythical part of the Metro series, the supernatural elements that I feel like a lot of the games don't go too deep into to the point where I would be satisfied. Because this is genuinely a Metro supernatural horror game. And I think a lot of you guys remember during one of the Metro games where you see all the ghosts and stuff like that. Yeah, they really up it to like level 30 on this game. So if you were scared about that, you're really gonna be scared about this. So that's why I say the environments are perfect. There was plenty of times during the game where I was genuinely overwhelmed by the amount of stuff going on, and it was really terrifying. And next we're gonna talk about the exploration / game mechanics. So there was a lot of things brought over from the main Metro series, like cranking up your flashlight, the lighter. And I gotta say, cranking up the lighter and even using that to charge up doors and switches and stuff like that is really fun and an amazing game mechanic because it's just so cool. It really makes you think about how much Artyom goes through in the base Metro series, and like how much time it takes to really sit there and crank up a flashlight or crank up this door while there's enemies trying to attack you. The lighter mechanic also works perfectly for those cobwebs and other creepy things that you might see while crawling through vents or even going through the more spider infested areas. Another cool addition is the inventory system in this game, because you actually get a backpack. And so it's kind of like the usual VR backpack. Reach over your shoulder, you bring it around, you can change guns, change filters, you can change pretty much anything you want. But the cool thing about this backpack is depending on which shoulder you reach over, changes what you see when you pull it out. So you reach over the right shoulder where your heavy weapons are, you can change from assault rifle to a shotgun to a blow dart gun or anything like that you might pick up during the way. But the unique thing about this backpack system is that depending on which shoulder you reach across, it changes what you see on the backpack. So reach over the left shoulder, that's how you get to like your filters, your torch, your charger and all that other stuff. And you reach over the other one, you can get to your heavy weapon. So you can switch from like your AR to your shotgun. It's like really smooth. So I have to give Vertigo Games some credit because that is genius. And I've never, ever seen another VR game do that. And my favorite mechanic has to be the mask. The mask is so cool because it's just like the base game. You got to get filters to put on the mask. You can even wipe the mask off if there's any type of like water or anything on your face, which is like a really nice mechanic because they don't tell you can do it. You kind of just put it up to your face and you realize, oh, I can wipe my mask off. It's really dope. But the radiation effect in this game has to be one of the coolest effects I've seen in a VR game. It gives you like this kind of bright green and black specks on your screen, and they look really crazy in VR. So like I said before, this is a perfect Metro adaptation, and they really made it for those VR heads who want to see something different. I feel like some of the irradiated parts are some of my favorite parts of this game because it's just so unique. And even taking the mask off feels really cool because you actually just grab it and just rip it off, which is like really dope. Next, we gotta talk about the combat. So this is probably one of the best parts of this game. And honestly, the combat is really smooth. First, we're gonna touch on the gun handling, which is like genuinely amazing. And all the guns feel unique in their own different ways. And just feel like great weapons to use. Is it ultra realistic? No. But it is arcadey and realistic enough to kind of give you that balance. So when when you're shooting your AK or something like that, it feels really great, especially with those haptic triggers on the PSVR2. Really good. And there's a bunch of guns in the game. So there's only one slot for the pistol, and you can pick up different types of pistols throughout the game. You can't store them, but you can use them and reload them like it's your gun. I mean, you even get a shotgun, a bow, even a blow dart gun, which is like crazy. And it's just a bunch of different ways to approach enemies and just have some fun, using your guns. There's even a lot of points in the game where I was just grabbing enemies' guns that I had beat and just taking their guns, taking the mag out and keeping the ammo for myself, which is like really cool because it does make you really think about, okay, how much ammo am I using? Am I gonna do this fight? And it really makes you think about, which I really feel like is one of Metro's biggest strengths, is conserving your materials. And I must say, ammo conservation in this game is tough. There was a lot of points where your boy did not have any ammo. And I was playing on easy just to get through this review. So if you're playing on normal, even the hard difficulties, you're gonna have a tough time keeping that ammo. So sometimes you might have to run through a fight, run away, or just figure it out. Luckily, there is melee. So if you run out of ammo, you need to hit an enemy in the head, you can do so with your gun. And you can do so with your fist. So there's even sneak kills you can do if you run behind an enemy and just tap them in the back of the head with your gun. Now, some enemies can't be meleeed like that for silent takedowns. But what's funny, and I realized this when I was on a train part, you can actually melee some of the bigger mutants. So that's kind of cool. So if you're on an ammo in a mutant zone, you just hit them with your gun, see what happens. And before we get into the rest of the review, I must say that I am doing a Quest 3 giveaway. It is sponsored by Cat VR, who makes the omnidirectional VR treadmills that we know and so love in this community. And they are having a Black Friday's deal of up to $150 off an omnidirectional VR treadmill. So if you're in the market for a VR treadmill, make sure you go to the description below and check out their prices. And if you want to sign up for the Quest 3 giveaway, make sure you go to the description below because I will be announcing the same day this video comes out during my stream at 6 p.m. CST. So during that stream, I will announce the winner probably towards the end. And if you win it, I hope you win. And speaking of mutants, we got to talk about the enemies. Now, the enemies are amazing in this game. So obviously you have the humans, which have a pretty decent level of AI. They can detect you in light, they can hear sound, and honestly, they're programmed pretty good. I actually enjoy fighting the human enemies in this game because they actually put up a fight. There's not many times where you can just stand in front of an enemy and tank a lot of bullets, because after a certain amount of shots they hit on you, they will kill you very fast. And even when you get damaged and healing, they will push you while you're healing because you get a syringe to use in the game that you got to stick in your hand or your body. And I died a lot healing because I just wasn't open. But I feel like the star of the show here are the mutants. The mutants are terrifying. They're small mole-like creatures which really give you a run for your money, where you're going through tunnels and like these vents, and it just really sucks. Those enemies definitely gave me the most jump scares while I was playing the game, because there's just so many of them. And then you have the Sonalis. Now the Sonalis are like giant mole rat creatures, and you encounter them pretty early in the game, and they gave me a run for my money because one, they're huge, and two, they take a lot of bullets. So when you have to fight them on the ground without, like, you know, a minigun, yeah, it gets really tough, and you gotta really think how you approach those type of fights. That's one thing I give Vertigo Games. With this game here, when they were coding these enemies, especially the mutants, they will dodge you. They will lead you to go one way and then dodge the other, and then run and attack you. Now there will be sound cues to kind of give you a warning when someone, like, especially like the small mole rat creatures, are attacking you. But man, it gets tough when there's like 8 of them, and they will jump you. Like I got jumped really bad during this game. And finally, we got to talk about probably the worst enemy type in this game, and one that made me scream like a little girl more times than I want to count, and it is the spiders. Now I didn't check if there was arachnophobia mode in the game, but man, the spiders in this game are rough. Because one, they're huge. Two, there's a lot of them. And three, Vertigo Games gives you no space between you and the spiders. They will jump on you. They'll crawl on your head. They'll even get on your face mask, and then you'll reach to grab them down, and you'll pull off your face mask. I've died of radiation a few times because of that. And oh, did I mention they are fast? If you try to shoot them, they take a few bullets to take down. And by the time you get done shooting 3 bullets at them, they're jumping at you. So yeah, if you have high arachnophobia, let me see if there's an arachnophobia mode, because man, this one is rough for people who are scared of spiders. And there's even times where a spider will crawl on your hand and you have to physically grab it, pull it off, and then throw it. So yeah, if you are an arachnophobe, bless you and good luck, man. I don't know how, if I haven't convinced you enough yet to play this game, I don't know what else I can tell you. The focus on Supernatural and Metro Awakening is honestly its biggest strength, and this might be my favorite entry in the Metro series. I've always wanted a Metro game that focused on more the supernatural side of the Metro, because I'm a sucker for Supernatural, and this game does that perfectly. Even with the use in the environment and the characters and the voice acting to really represent the insanity of the situation, is 10 out of 10. I give this game a 10. This is a 10 out of 10 game. If you haven't been convinced yet, please go play it. The day this review comes out, it should be on preload for PSVR2. You know what to do. So all in all, Metro Awakening is a perfect representation of the Metro series brought to VR, and legitimately might be my VR game of the year. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this review. I enjoyed playing this game. Thank you, Vertigo Games, for giving me a key, because man, this was amazing. I genuinely had a great time. I cried at the end, like I said, and it's an amazing experience. And I can't wait for you guys to play it. With that being said, it's been MartydudeVR, and remember, I'm just a dude with a VR headset. Peace.